Next, we're changing gears to B2B. Always exciting to see B2B in FemTech. And we have Rebecca and Kath from Raise HR solving a huge problem for employers. Ladies, over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Barry. I'm one of the co-founders of Raise, and I'd love to tell you about how we're looking to tackle the silent crisis in early parenthood between employer and employee. Research by the Equality and Human Rights Commission highlights that 75% of mothers experience discriminatory or negative behaviour whilst pregnant or on parental leave. This in turn impacts the employer, who experiences higher rates of turnover at this stage and associated costs of up to £30,000 per employee. It also impacts gender pay gap and continued representation at a very senior level. At Raise, we have lived experience of this while working in senior and director level roles for some of the UK's most respected brands. Together with our CTO, we have the skills and the passion to implement solutions that significantly improve experiences. We've spent time speaking with hundreds of women, working mothers, and understand the universal journey that millions of women worldwide are going through each year. There are work considerations at each stage, and 2/3 of employees returning from parental leave are citing feeling unsupported by their employer. That's 200,000 each year in the UK alone. And this is why we're building Raise to revolutionise the parental leave experience. Raise is a B2B SaaS-based platform that supports employers and line managers in creating positive parental leave and back to work experiences for their employees. Our product maps to every stage of the journey, and our strongest USPs are focusing on personalisation to both the individual and the company situation, focusing on the needs at each stage in the journey, seamlessly integrating content from both Raise experts and employer spokespeople, and ultimately building Raise both digitally and physically to become the central support system for employers when it comes to working and parenthood for all parents, regardless of gender and situation. Our target audience are HR departments in companies with over 100 employees who are investing heavily right now in HR tech, in analytics, and must focus on solutions that support gender equality and retention. And our commercial model is that of recurring revenue from both license and partnerships. We currently have a no-code app live in testing. We've secured 2 corporate development clients, and the full MVP is in development to launch early next year. Throughout 2022, we'll focus on aggressive growth, and we're seeking £200,000 of SEIS eligible investment to accelerate product development and our sales pipeline. In summary, what you've seen today is a solution that responds to a significant societal issue which companies and employees are actively pursuing improvements in. It's relevant to all medium and large size companies in the UK and internationally, and it offers a recurring revenue stream that companies won't remove once it's offering significant employee value. We know that this isn't an investment opportunity for everyone, but if you'd like to be part of a journey in an underdeveloped category that's looking to create meaningful change for parents everywhere, together with a scalable commercial model that also offers a clear route to profitability, we would be delighted to talk to you. Thank you.
Let's have some questions. First question, who are your competitors? That's always a good question.
That's a good question. Yeah, so we've done a lot of research over the last 9 months, and it really is an underdeveloped category. Most often from our research, we found that the competition is actually company intranets and government websites. The onus is very much on the parent or parent-to-be to do their own research. There is one direct competitor in Australia called Circle In. They have 50 large corporate clients so far and have recently secured £1.5 million in funding to fund their growth. So we think that there is strong proof of concept within that. Within the UK itself, there are really strong indicators around HR tech, analytics, investment in employee well-being and retention, certainly post-COVID. There are some people operating in corporate childcare space. So, for example, Peppy, that's very much one-to-one consultation, Bright Horizons, but that's very much around physical childcare linked to company workplace settings. So there is nobody looking at tech solutions for this that are personalised and kind of speak to the company, their individual policies, and the individual as well. So we think that it's a large problem, which is going to have a lot of different solutions to it, but I think we can have a really significant stake in that.
Brilliant, thank you. Another question. What do you think are the most important features? Have you had any thoughts about how you could prototype quickly for corporate to try?
So we have a no-code app, which is live at the moment, and we're testing with our 2 development clients, doing a lot of research with their employees who are either going through this process or who recently have done. So we're getting kind of live feedback, which we're putting into the MVP. At the moment, because information is so fragmented and the onus is on the employee to navigate that, the personalized journeys, which feeds in everything from your finances, your rights, things you should consider, content or expert content around different stages for the baby and the kind of the parent as well, is proving really, really popular, as are the ways to take out the kind of the chance element of that line manager relationship, which is obviously kind of normally at the center of this, trying to kind of help that communication, help that kind of two-way swap of information while people are away from the business. They're obviously not linked into those company intranets, those company systems, and often the line manager doesn't want to initiate communication. So those kind of things to show communication and commitment are proving really strong. Anything to add on that?
No, I think going through this, so many people go through this stage and they don't realise, and that's the feedback that we're getting. They've gone through it. It's been a tricky time, but it's not until I was speaking to someone last week and they're like, wow, I felt so emotional when I heard about Raise, because I went through it. It was a really tough experience, but I just got through it somehow, and actually this could have made it so much better for me. And that's the feedback that we're getting time and time again, that actually solutions need to be found in this area, because people are just getting through it at the moment and they don't realize there's an alternative, and we're here to offer an alternative.
Cool. Yeah, last question. And honestly, so many people resonate with what you're doing. We get this all the time from advisors, from people that get involved and hear your pitch. They're like, oh my God, yes, I went through this myself. One last question. I think it's a really good one. What outcomes will you have to show to the employers to get them on board? Or how do you think you can motivate them to use your solution to support their employee parents?
Yeah. It's really interesting. So the 2 development clients that we're speaking to, that we're working with actively, the CEO, she's got 3 children herself. And when presenting it to her, she's like, wow, this could have really helped me. And I think that I really want to do it differently for my employers at ease. So I think kind of really it appeals directly to people at a senior level, but also I think ultimately we want to increase retention. We want to get more women back into the workplace and get them moving onwards and upwards with their career. That's our ultimate goal. When I was speaking to a HR director last week, it was only when they're a good employer, that they want to do the best for their employees, but she hadn't even been on the ball as to how many people were returning. And she's like, her message to me was, I am mortified with how few people have returned in the last 2 years. So it's kind of raising awareness as well of this issue. But ultimately, we're looking for more people to come back into the workplace. It's all about retention. Yeah,
and I think the stats at the moment are that only 27% of people are in full-time employment within 3 years of having children. So there is a definite problem to go at. I think what we'd like to do is kind of eventually create this as kind of an industry standard, where we're going in, we're auditing, and we're then proving back over time those kind of softer metrics about feeling it's okay to have a family whilst you're kind of in employment with that company, but then those kind of really quantifiable savings for the business over time in terms of getting women up through the ranks, as well as those kind of hard retention replacement metrics, which is quite easy to put a pound sign on.
Awesome. We have lots of questions keep coming. We do have to move on, but we're dropping contact details for startups. Please do get in touch and you can get to know more.
Thank you.